The countdown has begun. And if you're a Bears fan, you can already feel it in your bones. 2 weeks from this Saturday, rookies report to training camp, and with that, the storm officially begins. It's not just dates on a calendar anymore. It's the first true heartbeat of the 2025 NFL season echoing through Hallas Hall. And if you listen close enough, you can almost hear the clatter of cleats hitting the turf, the crack of shoulder pads colliding, the sharp voice of a coach slicing through the summer humidity. It's here. Football is back. And with that arrival comes the looming question that's been burning in every corner of the Windy City. Are the Chicago Bears actually going to make the playoffs this year? It's not a simple yes or no. No, this is a puzzle. It's a layered, twisting narrative shaped by a new coaching staff, a retooled offensive line, a franchise quarterback in year 2, and a front office that finally seems to be building with a vision. But as the excitement bubbles, the realist inside whispers, "Don't get ahead of yourself." That's why I sat down, seriously sat down, not just tossing ideas back and forth casually, and ranked every single team in the NFC, because I needed clarity. I needed to see the Bears through a wider lens, through the war zone of the entire conference, not just the echo chamber of local optimism. And at the top of the list, let's be honest, there's no suspense, it's the Eagles. Philly, who steamrolled their way to the Super Bowl, brought back their core, retained their mastermind in Sirianni, and reloaded through another rock-solid draft and free agency haul. They're not just contenders. They're the standard. You want to beat the best? You've got to be better than Philly. And then, I shocked myself with number 2. It's not Detroit, not San Francisco, it's the Rams. That's right. Los Angeles, led by a rejuvenated Stafford and offensive guru Sean McVay, now weaponized with Davante Adams in place of an aging Cooper Kupp. Risky? Maybe. But there's a quiet fire in LA, a sense they've been dismissed for too long. Their defense is young, volatile, but ready to surge. Some call it sneaky. I call it strategic. And at number 3 comes a team close to all of us, the Detroit Lions. Yes, they still reign in the NFC North. Yes, they're loaded. But there's a thundercloud forming above them. Ben Johnson, their offensive wizard, is gone. And Jared Goff, historically, has only shined when he's tethered to a genius play caller. The question is simple. Without Johnson, does the engine stall? I liken it to Craig Counsell leaving Milwaukee for Chicago. Did the Brewers collapse? No. But the Lions could. Not a collapse in flames, but a subtle backslide, just enough to open the door. Number 4? Tampa Bay. I know what you're thinking. Baker Mayfield? Really? But the Bucs have quietly become a sleeper. A rock-solid receiving core, a rebuilt defense anchored by Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey, and a Baker who, say what you will, played with heart and consistency last year. It's not flashy, it's not sexy, but it's balanced, and balance wins in December. Then we get to 5 and the wild card hunt begins. Enter the Commanders. With Jaden Daniels entering year 2, and a seismic addition in Deebo Samuel, this team's offense is no longer a punchline. It's a problem. Add to that a defense that's disciplined, fast, and growing, and you've got a squad that could threaten anyone not named Philly. But make no mistake, this team is gunning for blood in the NFC East, and even if they don't win the division, they'll be in every conversation come December. And now we arrive at 6, the Chicago Bears. Take a breath. Let it sink in. I've got them as the 6th best team in the entire conference. Why? Because the roster finally makes sense. The offensive line, yes, finally, looks like an NFL unit. The weapons, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet. It's no longer a conversation about who the quarterback can trust. It's a question of which option is open. And speaking of quarterback, Caleb Williams has already shown flashes of everything we hoped for. Vision, poise, leadership. He's not just a kid with talent. He's a quarterback with gravity, a leader with presence. He commands the huddle. And with Shane Waldron orchestrating the offense and a defense filled with physical, violent tone setters, Chicago isn't just climbing. They're kicking the damn door down. So who's the 7th seed? The Minnesota Vikings. Their defense? Quietly one of the top 10 in football last season. And while they'll be rolling the dice with J.J. McCarthy, they've got a safety net in Kevin O'Connell, a coach with a track record of making broken quarterbacks look polished. Look what he did with Darnold. McCarthy doesn't have to be elite, he just has to be composed. With a defense that can stifle and special teams that can flip fields, the Vikings will hang around in every game, and that's enough in today's NFL. Which leaves the heartbreakers. Green Bay, San Francisco, Dallas, all on the outside looking in. Green Bay with Jordan Love on the verge of taking that next step, but surrounded by inconsistency. The 49ers, a former juggernaut beginning to fray at the seams, age, injuries, and questions at quarterback piling up. And the Cowboys, who gave up a shocking 468 points in just 18 games last year. How does a team fix that kind of dysfunction in one off-season? You can't band-aid a hemorrhage, so when the Bears face those three, those are your playoff deciders. Win those games, and Chicago punches its ticket. Lose them, and you're back on the outside. It's that simple. But I get it. This list feels like chalk, like too much of last year's mold lingering into 2025. And that's where the suspense creeps in. The NFL doesn't follow scripts. Every year, someone crashes the party. Could it be the Cardinals? With Kyler Murray quietly healing and a roster infused with young talent, Arizona might just sneak in and catch the league napping. Or maybe Atlanta, who started 2024 with energy and vision before sputtering, finds stability and turns chaos into results. So maybe, just maybe, one of them replaces the Bears or Vikings. But ask yourself this. Is it really that crazy to believe the Bears could be a 6th seed? Not when you look at the roster. Not when you look at the coach. Not when you see the growth already happening in year 2 of Caleb. We've seen teams go from bottom feeders to contenders in the blink of an eye. The NFL thrives on chaos, on leaps, on the unexplainable. 9-win teams become 12. Losers become legends. So no, it's not unrealistic. But it is fragile. Cautious optimism is the phrase. Believe in the plan, but brace for the storm. Because in Chicago, nothing comes easy. And as we stare down this training camp, as cleats hit the grass and the sweat starts flying and every position becomes a war, one truth emerges. The path to the playoffs is no longer a fantasy. It's there. It's real. And it's brutal. Green Bay, San Francisco, Dallas, those games will define the season. That's not speculation. That's the battleground. Those are the tests. And if Caleb stands tall, if this offensive line protects him, if the defense hits like they're supposed to, then this city won't just talk about playoffs. It'll live them. So now, as the countdown hits 13 days, you can feel the suspense building, like storm clouds crawling across the lakefront. Bears fans, you've waited long enough. The questions are